Is America going up or going down? Some people say our best days are over. Others say, relax, we can still fix this. Right in the middle of that fight are two men. On one side, Donald Trump, the billionaire outsider who promises to smash the system. On the other hand, Joe Biden, the career politician who says he can save it. Same problems, same nation, totally different answers. In this video, I'm not just going to list talking points. I'm going to break down Trump versus Biden across the economy, healthcare, integration, climate, foreign policy, leadership style, and even how they treat democracy itself. By the end, you'll see exactly where they clash, where they're secretly similar, and which vision lines up most with your values. Let's start with a simple question. Who are these two men? Donald Trump is Republican. People often describe him as a right-wing populist and a nationalist. His main ideas are America first, strong borders, bringing jobs back to America, and being very careful with global deals and institutions. Before politics, Trump was a businessman and TV star, real estate, branding, and the show The Apprentice. He never held any government job before becoming president. This outsider image is a big part of his identity. His message is, I'm not like the politicians, I'll fight the system. Joe Biden is a Democrat. He is generally center-left or liberal in U.S. terms. His main ideas are helping the middle class, defending democracy and alliances, addressing climate change, and gradually expanding the welfare state, including healthcare and social support. Biden is almost the opposite of Trump in background. He is a career politician. He spent more than 36 years in the U.S. Senate, then served as vice president under Barack Obama, and then became president. He knows Congress, foreign policy, and government rules very well. So, if we sum it up, Trump's brand, anti-establishment disruptor who promises to fight the deep state, political elites, and globalists. His fans see a fighter who breaks the old rules. His critics see someone dangerous to institutions. Biden's brand is institutional deal-maker, calm and experienced, who promises to restore norms, work with allies, and lower the political temperature. His fans see a stabilizer. His critics say he is too weak or too traditional. Now, let's look at the world they had to govern in. Trump's time in office, 2017 to 2021, came after a big populist wave and strong anger about lost jobs and immigration. Before COVID, unemployment was low and the economy was growing. Then COVID-19 hit, brought a recession, and changed everything. Trump also faced rising competition with China, big debates about globalization and trade, and very intense political polarization. At first, he worked with a Republican Congress. Later, the government was split between parties, which made passing laws harder. Biden's term, starting 2021, began in a very different scene. He took office during the peak of COVID, an economic crisis, and right after the January 6th Capitol attack. He had to handle mass vaccination campaigns, economic recovery and later high inflation, the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, and growing tension with China. He started with a very narrow Democratic majority in Congress and then had to deal with a divided Congress after 2022. So both men dealt with crises, but different kinds of crises. On domestic policy, economy, and taxes, Trump's approach. He signed a big tax law in 2017 that cut corporate taxes a lot and also cut some individual taxes, especially helping higher earners and business owners. He pushed deregulation, fewer rules for energy, finance, and the environment, saying this would boost growth and jobs. Before COVID, unemployment dropped to very low levels. When COVID hit, the economy crashed and his government supported large stimulus measures. He also talks a lot about using tariffs and tough trade policies to protect U.S. industry. So Biden's approach is almost the reverse. He argues for higher taxes on corporations and the very rich to fund social programs and climate action. He signed big economic packages: the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, money for roads, bridges, and internet; the CHIPS and Science Act, support for computer chip factories; the Inflation Reduction Act, large spending and tax breaks for clean energy. Supporters say Biden helped create strong job growth and brought some manufacturing back. Critics say his spending helped to push up inflation and grow government too much. On healthcare, they also clash. Trump tried to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Repeal failed in Congress, but his team weakened the law, for example, by removing the penalty for not having insurance. He promoted cheaper, short-term plans with fewer rules. He said they give more choice and lower costs. Critics said they also give weaker protections. Biden sees himself as a defender and expander of Obamacare. He pushed for higher subsidies so people pay less for health insurance. He tried to expand Medicaid in states that refused it. He talked about a public option, a government-run plan, but it was not passed. Focused strongly on COVID vaccines, testing, and federal health guidance. Short version, Trump wants less government role in healthcare. Biden wants more government help to make healthcare cheaper and wider. Social issues, abortion, LGBTQ rights, guns, and crime. Abortion, Trump ran as strongly pro-life. He appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, and the court later overturned Roe v. Wade, ending federal abortion rights and letting states make strict bans. He praised the result, but also said states should decide, which created debate inside his party. Biden supports nationwide abortion rights. He wants Congress to make a law that restores protections similar to Roe v. Wade. LGBTQ rights. Trump rolled back some protections from the Obama era, for example, on transgender military service and some discrimination rules. His side said he defended religious freedom. Critics say he harmed LGBTQ rights. Biden reversed many of those moves. He brought back open service for transgender people in the military and supports the Equality Act to strengthen anti-discrimination laws. Guns and crime. Trump is very close to gun rights groups. He opposed big new federal gun control laws, though he did ban bump stocks after a major shooting. Biden has long pushed for stricter gun laws, banning assault-style weapons, universal background checks, and red flag laws. He signed a bipartisan gun safety law in 2022 that improved checks for young buyers and funded crisis programs. Immigration. Immigration is one of the clearest differences. Trump, his famous line, "Build the wall." Focus on deterrence and enforcement. Building and strengthening the southern border wall, stricter asylum rules, at one point family separations at the border, lower refugee numbers, and more limits on visas and green cards. His basic idea, strong borders first, fewer people coming in, tougher rules. Biden campaigned on a more humane immigration system and ending some Trump policies like broad travel bans. He raised refugee limits again, changed asylum rules, but also added new controls because border crossing stayed very high. Climate and energy. Trump, skeptical of strong climate action, took the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement, removed many environmental rules on power plants, cars, and drilling, saying these rules hurt jobs and energy independence. He promoted fossil fuels, oil, gas, and coal, as keys to cheap, secure energy. Biden ran on a very ambitious climate agenda. He put the U.S. back into the Paris Agreement and set a goal of net zero emissions by 2050. The Inflation Reduction Act gives huge tax breaks and support for EVs, solar, wind, and green factories. Supporters say this is transforming the energy system and creating future jobs. Critics say it means big spending and more regulation.
Foreign policy and security. Trump follows America first. He is skeptical of big alliances and worldwide institutions. He likes direct, deal-by-deal relationships and sees trade deficits as a big problem. Biden is a classic pro-alliance leader. He supports NATO, the EU partnership, and international bodies. He often frames global politics as democracies versus autocracies. Allies and institutions. Trump criticized NATO allies for not paying enough for defense, questioned the value of some alliances and agreements, pulled out of deals like the Paris Climate Agreement and the Iran nuclear deal. Biden rejoined Paris and doubled down on NATO, worked closely with Europe and others to sanction Russia and support Ukraine after the 2022 invasion. Trade. Trump, very pro-tariff, renegotiated NAFTA into MCUSA and walked away from some trade deals. He sees protection as necessary for workers and leverage. Biden has not gone back to old free trade policies, keeps many tariffs, focuses more on industrial policy and moving supply chains to friendly countries. How they lead, leadership, governance, and norms. Trump trusts his gut and a close circle of loyalists. Cabinet turnover is high, decisions can be fast and informal. Fans say he is bold and not controlled by experts. Critics say he ignores data and weakens institutions. Biden uses more traditional process, briefings, meetings, advice from experts, focus on stability and predictability. Fans say he is steady and serious. Critics say he is slow and cautious. Institutions and democracy. Trump fights with media, intelligence agencies, and sometimes judges and prosecutors, sometimes attacking them personally. Did not accept the 2020 election result, and his words around January 6th are a major reason people debate his effect on democracy. His supporters say he raised real concerns about the election. His opponents say he tried to overturn it. Biden presents himself as a protector of democratic norms. He often warns about extremism and political violence. He works with courts and agencies in more traditional ways, though critics on the right say he still uses government power in partisan ways. Some on the left say he is too soft on the system. Who supports them? Base and coalition. Trump's base, many white working-class voters without college degrees, especially in rural and small-town areas. Strong support from conservative Christians and some small business owners. Biden's base, strong in big cities and many suburbs. Many college-educated voters, strong support from many Black, Latino, and younger voters, though it varies by group. Supported by people who care a lot about democracy, climate, social programs, and alliances. This helps explain their focus. Trump talks more about culture wars, immigration and trade protection. Biden talks more about healthcare, climate, and social support. Ethics and controversies. Trump impeached twice, once over pressure on Ukraine, once over his actions related to January 6th. Faced several legal cases, including over business practices, hush money payments, and handling of classified documents. His supporters often say this is all political persecution or a witch hunt. His critics say it shows serious threats to the rule of law. Biden faced questions about his son Hunter Biden's business deals and whether there were conflicts of interest. So far, investigations have not proven that Joe Biden personally made illegal profits, but the issue remains politically charged. Got heavy criticism for the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan and for classified documents found at his own properties. Trump and Biden represent two very different ideas of American leadership. Trump is a nationalist, rule-breaking populist who focuses on borders, deregulation, and strong solo American power. Biden is a cautious, system-focused liberal who focuses on alliances, social and climate spending, and working inside democratic rules and institutions.